Let's get right into it. Number 9. The little disc under bottle caps. Alright, time to ruin soft drink for you, just a little bit. You know that tiny plastic disc stuck inside the lid of your Coke bottle? The one you occasionally try to pry out with your fingernail like it's a forbidden snack? That little bugger is the MVP of carbonation. It's called a liner, and without it, your fizzy drink would go flat faster than your enthusiasm for Monday mornings. The disc seals the bottle airtight after capping, locking in all that lovely CO2. Without it, your drink would taste like sad syrupy water and you'd feel like a betrayed child. So next time you're twisting the cap off and hear that satisfying hiss, that's the liner doing its job, keeping your sugar water dreams alive. And if you have been popping them out for fun, well, congratulations. You've been personally assassinating bubbles. You monster. Number 8. The hole in pen caps. Ah yes, the tiny hole at the top of your ballpoint pen cap, the one you chewed in year 8 during maths class when life was simpler and the only stress was long division. You might think it's there for, I don't know, aesthetic airflow? Maybe to make the pen whistle if you blow through it. Don't act like you've never tried. But nope. It's actually a safety feature. Yep, that unassuming little gap is designed to stop you from dying. Specifically, it's there to reduce the risk of suffocation if the cap gets lodged in your windpipe. Because apparently, pen cap swallowing is more common than any of us would like to admit. So rather than completely blocking airflow, the hole allows just enough oxygen to pass through to keep you from going full blueberry. Imagine explaining to St. Peter at the pearly gates that you carked it because of a BIC cap. Embarrassing? So, next time you absent-mindedly chuck one into your gob during a meeting, just remember, that hole isn't just design. It's your last line of defense against your own terrible life choices. Number 7. The little dot on your iPhone. Ever seen that tiny green or orange dot near the top of your phone screen? The one that randomly pops up when you're doing something? That's not a rogue pixel or a glitch in the matrix. That dot is your privacy snitch. It's Apple's way of letting you know when an app is accessing your camera, green, or microphone, orange. So if you're not on FaceTime or recording a voice memo and that dot lights up, something's listening. And mate, if that doesn't make your spine itch, I don't know what will. It's basically your phone whispering. Oi, something's sus. And in a world where every second app wants to know what brand of cereal you're emotionally attached to, that's sort of comforting. So yeah, keep an eye on the dot. It knows things. Number 6, the bumps on the F and J keys. Ever noticed those tiny raised lines on the F and J keys of your keyboard? You probably have, but assume they were just some kind of keyboard birthmark. Or maybe part of a secret gamer handshake you never got invited to. But no, those little ridges are tactile guides for your fingers, specifically for the magical land of touch typing. Back when typing lessons were a thing and people weren't just smashing out text with their thumbs, the idea was to keep your index fingers anchored on the F and J keys, so the rest of your digits could dance across the board like a caffeinated spider. It's part of something called the home row. And if your fingers start from there, theoretically, you'll type like a wizard, or at least like someone who doesn't need to stare at the keyboard like it's a Sudoku puzzle. So if you've ever wondered why your keyboard's got braille for 2 fingers, it's not a defect. It's a quiet reminder that you could be typing better, but probably won't. Number 5, the black dots on car windshields. Have you ever noticed that row of little black dots around the edge of your car's windscreen? The ones that fade out like someone tried to pixelate your peripheral vision? They're not there for decoration, although they do look suspiciously artsy. Those dots are part of something called a frit band. It's a ceramic paint baked into the glass during manufacturing, and it does a few cool things. First, it helps the glue that holds your windscreen in place stick better. Yes, your windscreen is basically held on with industrial-strength glue. Second, it acts as a heat buffer, gradually transitioning from the dark border to clear glass so your windscreen doesn't crack from thermal shock. And third, it looks snazzy. Okay, that last one's not official, but it does make your windscreen look like it has a secret job in graphic design. So yeah, those dots aren't just for vibes. They're fighting off sun damage and making sure your windscreen doesn't peace out mid-drive. Legends. Honestly, number 4, the extra eyelets on your sneakers. Let's talk about the weird pair of holes right at the top of your trainers. You know the ones. You never use them. They look awkward, and you've probably assumed they're just there, like the appendix of footwear. But those extra eyelets, They've got one job, and they do it bloody well, preventing your foot from sliding forward and turning your big toe into hamburger during a jog. It's called a heel lock or lace lock, and it helps tighten the shoe around your ankle, keeping your heel snug and your blisters on holiday. This is especially helpful if you're doing anything remotely athletic, running, hiking, or pretending to be sporty for your dating profile. Sure, it looks fiddly, but once you learn how to lace them properly, your feet will feel like they're being hugged by a personal trainer who actually cares about your arches. So yeah, those unused holes aren't decorative. They're there to stop your foot from moonwalking inside your own shoe like it's got commitment issues. Number 3, the bumps on glass bottles. You've probably held a glass bottle, beer, soft drink, whatever, and noticed those weird little dots or raised bumps near the base. Maybe you thought they were some kind of secret braille for beverage connoisseurs, or just manufacturing leftovers no one bothered to smooth out. But guess what? Those bumps actually have a very boring but very important purpose. Quality control. They're called mold marks or manufacturer codes. Basically, they help companies track which mold was used to make that specific bottle. So if a batch comes out dodgy, like cracking too easily or being slightly off shape, they can trace the problem back to the exact mold and sort it out before a customer gets a face full of Fanta and regrets their life choices. Some bumps also help machines grip the bottle during production. Because, as it turns out, conveyor belts aren't big fans of slippery glass. So next time you're clinking bottles at a Barbie, take a peek at those little bumps and whisper, "Thanks for not exploding in my hand." Then sip with slightly more appreciation. Number 2, the hole in airplane windows. If you've ever been on a plane and stared out the window while contemplating life, jet lag, or whether the snack box was worth the $12 50 hours, you may have noticed a tiny hole in the bottom of the window pane. Now, before your anxiety kicks in, don't worry. It's meant to be there. It's called a bleed hole, and it's actually keeping you safe. Plane windows are made of 3 layers. The outer one handles the pressure, the inner one is just for show, and the middle one has that hole to regulate pressure and prevent the inner pane from fogging up or cracking. So yeah, while you're 30,000 feet in the air, that hole is doing more than you are. It's saving lives and preventing windows from exploding. You're trying not to cry at an in-flight rom-com. Respect the hole. Moral of the story: next time you press your face against the glass for a photo, give that little dot a nod. It's the unsung hero of aviation. Number 1, the hole in pot handles. You know that hole at the end of your saucepan handle? Yeah, the one you think is just for hanging it up, like a good little adult who has their life together. Well, you're half right. It is for hanging. But that's not all. That hole? It's also a sneaky spoon holder. Yep. If you're cooking and don't want to rest your sauce-covered spoon directly on the benchtop like a heathen, just pop the spoon handle through the hole and let the gooey end dangle over the pot. Ta-da, built-in utensil management. Clean counters, minimal effort, maximum smugness. So next time you're fumbling for a spoon rest while boiling pasta, like you're auditioning for a cooking show, just remember, your pot was smarter than you the whole time. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.